Now, many intuitives, especially empathic people, start to collect and carry emotion. As intuitive people, especially empathic, we are not just attuned to feeling our feelings, we are being communicated with our environment so much. There is a sensitivity that it's like the volume of the communication with our environment is turned, dialed all the way up. So you're not just attuned to feeling, oh yeah, that person is angry right there. It'll be like screaming so much that you'll feel it inside. You'll have sensation, or you'll actually experience the emotion yourself as though it was yours. So this sometimes becomes very confusing depending on how self-aware we are. So sometimes with these feelings as intuitive people, you want to dig on that and say, is this my feeling or somebody else's? If it's not, you can just wash it away with a meditation of a breath and clear it out. If it's your response to their emotion, then how do you process that? Do you let yourself have a moment to experience it? A lot of the times, if we are programmed in our subconscious for resistance to letting ourselves feel emotionally, and we've all had different trainings of how to adjust in our emotions. So in our subconscious beliefs, if we have these blocks, then we will lose this awareness and it will suppress. For instance, I know so many people that have been taught it's wrong to cry. Crying makes you weak. Don't cry. Or these beliefs, or you hear things like, it's pathetic when you cry. I can't stand it. Or maybe there's a certain fear or belief that it's unsafe to hear and feel your emotions. Just the other day, I was working with a client and she was working on her reaction to her boss, who is a male, and she was so nervous of how she reacted out of feeling a self-judgment and a real fear. And as we dug into it, she had these beliefs that to be safe, she had to shut down because as a child, she had real abuse. She was traumatized. She was physically beaten by her father, and her dad would say to her, I'll stop hitting you when you stop crying. You know, what does that teach a child, right? So she adopted these beliefs that to be safe, to be strong, I have to be shut down in my feelings. And they built up. And then when she's threatened, our emotions serve a purpose. Every emotion has a healthy place to it. There is an appropriate place to feel anger. There's an appropriate place to feel fear. There is an appropriate place to feel sorrow. Without sorrow, we would all be sociopaths. It actually is an emotional checks and balance. Of course, they entangle with each other. If I have a belief that it's wrong to be angry and I feel angry, I will respond with guilt and regret. Oh man, I shouldn't have gotten angry. And I'll counter my anger with sorrow as a way of just checking myself. But was it an appropriate place to be angry? How would I know? That this is where we have emotional maturing. And it first starts by looking at what is emotional appropriateness. Is the emotion appropriate? Is how we're expressing it appropriate? Or is it coming out through passive aggressive tendencies? Is it coming out through these outbursts of emotion? Is it coming out through self-destruction to suppress it? Like, what is the relationship dynamic here?